With so much software available in the short-term rental industry these days, it's increasingly difficult to keep up to date with what's on the market and to determine whether it's a maybe or a must-have for you and your business. So meet one provider each week in a short interview, learning what they do and what they offer. So if you have around 15 minutes to spare, it could prove to be a very good investment to stick around. So let's see who and what is out there, one by one, with me, Deborah Larby, also known as the Guest Inspector. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Techsplained with the Guest Inspector. Today I'm joined with Francois from Enso Connect. It's a guest experience platform, and you're going to hear all about it shortly. Hello Francois, ça va?
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
That was a habit, ça va?
Ça va.
We're going to launch straight into it. Can you please tell me in 20 seconds what Enso Connect does in your elevator pitch?
Yeah, absolutely. So Enso Connect is a one-stop shop guest experience platform that focuses on three verticals: communication, an experience marketplace, and a remarketing retention system. And we effectively deal with any of the steps that involve interacting with guests, from pre-check-in, checking in, checking out, and closing the loop to control that guest experience.
So can we go step by step now? Step one, first thing that the guest experiences.
So when you break it down under the three verticals, before I drive into the sort of step by step, the way we started this company was around communication. And we started around communication because we realized that a lot of the time spent by property managers was on just answering basic messages, setting up the right automations in their property management software to respond to guest inquiries. But they were still spending so much time answering basic things that basic automation couldn't deal with. And so we built a system that allows you to communicate via text, email, WhatsApp, Airbnb message across the multiple channels connected to your property management software, and using AI to start answering up to 80% of all guest communication. And from that, we've effectively in 8 months processed over 1.1 million messages, of which we've automated 70%. We're trying to get to the 80 very soon as we train the model more. So that's how it all starts, is around communication, and then seeing how we can better each of the steps with your guests from pre-check-in all the way to arrival to checking out, using different partners in the industry. Okay. Yeah. So you're almost like a software aggregator. You're using third parties, but bringing them all together under your one platform. That's correct. That's correct. So effectively, we partner with different systems such as smart locks, insurance providers, Superhog, AutoHost, a bunch of different companies in the amenity sector, Mount, Turo, Uber, et cetera. And we allow you to design and craft your own guest experience based on the different tools that you actually want to use. So yes, we have a communication system, and then we have this thing called the experience marketplace. And the experience marketplace, it works kind of like well, actually one of my favorite companies called IFTT, If That Then This. It's a smart home company. And effectively what that company used to do back in, I think I started using it in 2015, is it would allow you to customize how your smart home systems would work. So if the lights were turned on, make sure the lock is, locked up, or if the music is playing, make sure the lights are turned on. It would just allow you to dynamically change the conditions of your smart home devices. And we decided to apply that same principle, but in the short-term rental industry. So if the sentiment of the conversation is really going well, remind the guest to leave a review. If the reservation is coming from booking.com, use an insurance provider to make sure that that booking is safe. And we created this dynamic system where you pick the conditions, you pick the triggers and the actions, and you essentially allow a fully automated but personalized experience for each interaction with guests. Each
interaction from each booking from all the different OTAs and platforms.
Correct. The OTAs and platforms, all that information is coming from your property management software. So we're integrated with Guesty, we're integrated with Booking Sync, with Muse. We're going live with HostAway very soon, and then a few more in the pipeline over the coming months. So any information that's coming through that platform is being fed into our platform and allowing you to kind of dynamically create different experiences. One of the latest ones that we just launched, which is actually a PMS agnostic feature, so it doesn't really matter what PMS you're using, and it's been I keep getting messages every morning about it, which is very exciting, is called the boarding pass. And this is something that we're offering entirely for free. And it's one of those steps of the guest experience. It's effectively a check-in instruction system that you just send to your guest, a link to a website that is all personalized with your logos, your colors, your pictures, and allows you not only to collect useful information about that guest, such as emails, phone numbers, names, etc., but it also provides the guest with that first touch of what you're going to deliver, which is a digital experience. So step by step, picture by picture, check-in instructions, where it then provides information about the listing, about Wi-Fi passwords, allows the guest to book an Uber, reserve a restaurant on OpenTable, rent an amenity on Mount, all of that for free, as effectively a hook for you to use that information and remarket on our CRM to your guests.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to throw a curveball at you because this all sounds really technical. It sounds like there's a lot of pieces. Someone who's not really tech-minded, what's the user experience like? It sounds complicated, but I'm sure you've made it very, very simple. One dashboard with everything that you select, chop and choose.
Yeah, so we realized that the whole condition trigger action was a bit complicated for hosts to understand how effectively it would work. So we built those cards ourselves. So for example, we have a card called the inquiry converter. And then when you click on it, it'll have a description explaining what this experience does. And the inquiry converter, all it does is it follows up with your guests once they've inquired. So they inquire, you respond to their question. Is the Wi-Fi strong? I'm coming in for a business trip and I need to make sure that everything's set up. You answer that question effectively, and then you kind of leave it at that, and that's it. Well, our system will make sure to remind the guest and say, are you still interested in booking the place? So you just kind of pick the different cards that you want to set up as part of your guest experience journey from start to finish. And the only system that you use in our platform on a daily basis, or even a weekly basis if you want to, is the remarketing system. So you want to remarket to guests after you select the guest that you want to remarket based on tags that you've set. This is my VIP guest, this is my business travelers, and so on. And you send them an email, a text message, or anything that you would like to get some more direct bookings. So my goal behind this platform is to actually make sure that you're never on my platform. The less time you spend on my platform, that means the more I automate. And so we're just trying to figure out exactly what are the processes that you keep repeating again and again. And if that's something you keep doing again and again, we automate it. Now, whether it's us or a third-party system, that's irrelevant. We just bring those partners so you don't have to have 6 different invoices, 6 different softwares. You have one invoice and one software for the guest experience.
Fantastic. Now, with these experiences, you mentioned Uber, etc. Does this mean that your audience is location specific, or is this built for global?
It's built for global, although we do recognize that in some places there isn't Uber. So for those places, you can't necessarily use Uber, and that's fine. Same with Mount, with our amenities partner. They're not yet in every single country, although they are growing very quickly. So it really is about how you want to set up that guest experience. Our strength is in communication with guests, automating that piece. And then what we've decided to do, because what we noticed was a lot of these third-party systems were having trouble getting in front of guests. So communicating with guests, the smart lock code, or communicating with guests, the insurance piece, or whatever those different systems were. And so that's why we're bringing those parties in to our ecosystem to facilitate the automation of those different steps, if you will.
Yes, yes. So it is a software aggregator all on the one platform. You can tap into all of those third parties, but you're just doing it in the one spot on your platform.
Exactly. And then you customize it based on how you want to run it. Our strength is still on the smart lock piece, on the AI chatbot. So the boarding pass example that I mentioned, the free version is just step-by-step check-in instructions. It collects the data and it runs through a beautiful kind of white labeled system for you to as a guest to visualize what it's going to be like to enter the property. The premium version, the one where you actually connect your property management software, actually has at the very end of the step-by-step check-in instructions a button that says unlock the door. You hit that button and it unlocks the door. You can add to that step-by-step check-in experience a verification system such as AutoHost or SuperHog, collect IDs, get insurance, run background checks, or any of the offerings of these different companies through our boarding pass. So it's a very exciting software that really kind of solves the fragmentation, I would say, in the guest experience vertical of this industry. So we don't compete with property management softwares. We work with them.
Yes, yes. So who would be your target audience? Are you targeting any size property management companies?
So right now we're bringing on boutique hotels, which is really interesting because they're moving towards more innovative technologies, kind of like the short-term rental industry, I would say. But our core focus is on property managers. So people who have a certain number of listings, who are effectively trying to grow their business, but really, it's not so much about the number of listings that you bring as much as it is about, are you building a hospitality brand, or is this a hustle for you to make quick money fast? If you're building a hospitality brand, that is our core audience. If you're trying to make quick money fast, the guest experience is probably not top of mind. So we're probably not a great fit for you, because we're really trying to make sure that guest experience from the moment they inquire for the property to the moment they're leaving was a journey, was an experience in of itself. And so we're really focused on, 50 unit property managers looking to scale to 100, and that are differentiating themselves with a unique brand, or even 10 unit listings that are different. And then in some cases, we have a few of these 800 unit mammoths that also need systems like this.
And you did mention that your app, your platform is white labeled, correct? So everything that goes out is under the property manager's brand?
Absolutely. Even the emails. So if you send emails from our platform, it's not our email address, it's your email address. Phone numbers, it's your phone numbers. WhatsApp, it's your WhatsApp business account. Your logos, your colors, you customize it the way you want. At the end of the day, the way we're trying to position ourselves is as the Shopify of this industry, working with small businesses for them to compete with the Amazon-like property managers out there, and differentiate themselves in their markets.
Now, how does the pricing work then for your platform?
So that's something we're still figuring out, to be perfectly frank, because we've gotten quite an interesting request from different operators. Some people want per booking cost, some people want commissions, some people want per listing. So right now we focus more on a per listing cost, just because it's scalable for us, but it's also more easy to bill, to be honest. I don't have to go and make a mistake on commission because, oh, well, this guest canceled. And so we just do a fixed cost is easier. There's 2 tiers. If you're using just our free boarding pass and you want to upgrade this to use the CRM, you can pay on the number of emails that are sent out. So think of it as MailChimp, but cheaper and just specific to your industry. And if you are looking to use the full platform, connect your property management software, it's a per listing cost that ranges from $10 to $30 per month per listing, depending on the number of listings. And obviously it scales down if you bring in quite a few listings. So that's the pricing model. Yeah.
And is there a contract, or can someone just go by the month?
You can go by the month. That's not an issue. We do sign a contract. It's effectively the terms of use ClickBox that you would have. We just haven't implemented the actual ClickBox terms of use. So we just send you a contract in the meantime to sign. But we'll get that sorted hopefully soon.
That's great. Look, I think this is great. New businesses popping out and growing. And of course, it's going to constantly evolve. Yeah. But yes, it's a very exciting idea, this one. Very exciting.
We work with about 13,000 plus listings now in 23 countries. So we're still in that early phase of learning a lot about our customers, but that's why I'd say one of our strengths is we iterate fast and we fail fast. Meaning when we first got started, we built a property management software, which was mistake number 1 because there's so many out there. And what we realized was this is not our strength. We are not going to be able to do it all. We can't do pricing. We can't do revenue management, cleaning, and operations. There's so many different pieces. And so we focus on what not only we love best, but also what we do best, which is the guest experience. That's why I'm so happy to be on this specific podcast, to be honest.
Well, the guest experience is becoming more and more vital. So it's really great that you've jumped on board. And I do like the fact that you brought everyone together onto the one platform, because this was the whole point of Techsplained. There is so much tech out there. Yeah. You brought a whole pile together in the one platform. So
well, a lot of us I think the difference is a lot of the systems out there are trying to be the one-stop shop platform, but instead of working with other companies. They're trying to build everything themselves, which is understandable from a technology company perspective and how, your margins and all that. But the way I see this industry is there are best in class softwares for specific verticals. So instead of competing and rebuilding everything, let's make them work together and let's piece the puzzle in a way that actually makes sense for operators.
One of my favorite words is collaboration. So I think it's great that everyone's collaborating and providing one place to access all of these different tech softwares. Really great. Okay, well, Francois, we've come to the end, and thank you so much for your time. For everyone, if you have any questions for Francois, and I'm sure you do, you can drop them in the comments below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, you can check out the description below for the links to learn more. So thank you very much again, Francois, and I'll hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.